Well, this little project is turning into a wild adventure because of the fact that I am mechanical and this is electrical. All my life I've worked on mechanical things and electrical has driven me nuts, and this is no exception. So what we have here is all of my vehicles have a 7-way cord, or 7-way plug in this case, excuse me. And so I wanted to wire my little utility trailer in such a way that I could just plug directly into the 7-pin receptacle in my car, or SUV rather, because that's all I have. A lot of times you'll see that vehicles have both the 4-way and the 7-way, and you can plug your 4-way into the 4-way and just go on with things. However, in the past few decades, all my vehicles have had 7-pin plugs. They didn't have this on the side, so I, had to buy an adapter. And I decided, you know what? I just want to plug directly into the receptacle and eliminate this one step of plugging into my receptacle and then plugging the trailer into this adapter. So that's turning into this project here, which is turning into an education. For example, if you go from a 7 plug to a 4 plug, they're kind of suggesting that you need to run your yellow wire off the red lead, your brown wire off the green lead, your green wire, weird wire, off the brown, and they're saying ground is white all the way across. Now, this doesn't show fifth wheel vehicles, which I think might be different. I've helped wire one up a bazillion years ago, and I know it was different, but I can't remember what was different about it. So I made a little cheat sheet on what I have to do to convert them over. However, when I do plug this guy in, I will have to check to make sure it is correct. Because, as I recall, the wiring from the vehicle to the plug can be different. And again, I think it's like fifth wheel. I don't think it's large utility trailer or large trailer. The trailer standard. Here it's showing the auxiliary power can be red or black. Maybe that's where I'm becoming confused. And also the reverse light on the trailer could be purple. So, this might be where I'm becoming confused. So the whole point of my video is to test your outlets. And this is what I came up with. So I have my 4-way, this is my trailer, and I have the white, brown, yellow, green, and how it's wired. To make matters even more complicated, the wiring to the marker lights do not feed off the brown wire, but I'll show you that when I get up underneath the trailer. Okay, so fun stuff. So I went ahead and bought an 8-foot wiring adapter because I need all 8 feet, believe it or not. And I started to disassemble everything because I have to feed the cord through a channel, and this box is too big, as you'll see when I get the trailer in here and start physically wiring it. Next, I had to figure out my terminal ends because I'm going to cut the cord and wire it up here and then place it onto the appropriate terminal. Then I'm gonna want to put a screw on top of it. I thought about reusing the screw that came with the box. Just screw it off, put the terminal on, screw it back on. I thought about doing that, but then, you know, me being the way I am, I decided to have a nut for each one. And it turns out that it is a size that I don't normally deal with, which is M5 by 0.8. So it took me forever to go through all of my boxes, but I did find 4 nuts that were M5 by 8. What made this a little more complicated was the fact that this paint on top here kind of got onto the threads. So when I went to test, you know, my hand full of nuts, it was a very hard start. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe that's 1/4 20 or something, and I got the wrong one. Maybe I better try and find another one. But it was really just the paint on there. So anyway, just telling you the problems I ran into if you wanted to do something like this. So off I go, taking everything apart, making sure I don't lose anything. And now I'm going to feed this wiring harness through the trailer. Get the wiring harness that's on the trailer, cutting it, making it look real nice and neat because it's going to be 4 different lengths. You know, making it look neat like this end is. And getting it all in the box. So in my case, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to go from brown to green. I'm going from green to brown. I'm going from red to yellow. And I'm going from white to white. So those are the 4. So the green and the brown get swapped out to go from a 7-pin RV large trailer to a small trailer. And then of course the red becomes yellow, and luckily white is ground all the way through, so that's an easy one. So if you're going to do something like this, I highly recommend that you watch a few videos, because you're watching this one. Maybe it's just for entertainment. But you're going to need to get it in your mind what you're going to do, because you are going to have to physically do the work. So you need to get everything straightened out. I made this drawing myself on the computer, you know, I used Word and I stuck in a picture and I did all this. I just had to do it. I just needed something to tell me what's going on, because I thought I would add reverse lights, because now I can add reverse lights to my trailer. What I was going to do is take the 2 lights that are on there now that are red, pull those out, get clear white ones, and then just wire the reverse light back there, so that when I put it in reverse, just when I put it in reverse, you know, the 2 lights that are down here will be white and show that I'm in reverse. Anyway, I was thinking about it. That's going to be a later project. I'm not doing it now. I just want to get through this mess of going from 4 to a 7. Alright, I got my trailer all jacked up, ready to work on it, because you know, I only need to work on the front junction connection. So I kind of have it jacked up over here. That jack is just backup safety. Got one screw right here to free up the 4-wire cable. Get that out of there. Alright, as you can see, they just have a small little gap for the wire to go through. So it doesn't look like the 4-wire connector will fit through that way, so I'll have to pull the wire out. So I'll first have to feed it in to get to all the wiring connections and then pull it out. Or I could make that hole larger, but I'm not going to do that because the 7-wire will clearly go through there. And when I'm finished unhooking it, I'll put a string or a coat hanger or something when I pull it out so that I'll be able to pull the new line in. Alright, I like the construction of this trailer, and you can see that the channel runs all the way to here. Got a side marker light running right here, and my main working area is going to be right in there. So I don't know why they have all of this extra wire. That's highly unusual. So here's the end of the 4-plug cable. It comes up, it splits out the marker lights, and then it goes back and it wraps around. They have a bunch of connectors, and then the 4-wire and the marker lights go to the back down the center tube. So anyway, I'm going to cut it long with the 4-wire so I have plenty of wire to put into the box. Mounting the box is going to be wire tie. I looked at all kinds of different ways of bracing it and bolting it up here to the center bar, and tried 2 or 3 different things, wasted an hour or so getting nuts and bolts and brackets and all kinds of stuff, and I'm just going to wire tie it, so you'll see that at the end. Alright, I want to have plenty of wire, so there it goes. Now I'm going to feed this back through and pull the 7-wire back through. Alright, so I put a wire tie, put my rope onto the cable, wire tied it. Now I'm electrical taping it just to make sure that it doesn't let go during the transfer process. And then I'll do the same thing with the 7-wire. I'll make sure it's all secured down as I pull it through the other way. Alright, let's see if I got it here. Alright, here we go. Alright, now rig up my 7-wire and do the same thing in the other direction. Alright, I'm all zip tied up. That'll help hold it. And then looks like a lot of tape. I won't go the whole length. I'll just make sure I get the leading edge really well, and then I'll just finish up back here because I have to go through the slot, so I need to take that into account. I already test fit the end of the wire, so I know the width will go through there, so I don't want too much tape making that wider. Alright, there we go. I'm all ready to fish it on through, so let me start pulling down at the other end down here and get it going. Alright, I can reach both ends, so I'm going to push and pull at the same time. And now I'm going to, oh, that's the wire tie. Alright, I got that in. And it's not welded on the other end, so I don't have to deal with it on the way out the other way. And there we go, we're in. Okay, I just split it right down the middle with my razor, zoop, including the wire tie. Now let's just peel the tape away, hit the camera, and that is that. And then we'll start wiring things up. I'll trim the 4-wire lead, and I'll figure out what lengths they need to go, because I would like them at various lengths like this one, so it fits in the box nice and neat, so it looks pretty, like some sort of professional did it or something. All right, continuing on. Okay, I have all my tools and hardware accounted for. It's reassembly time. I'm going to wire up the original wires first and then go from there. Okay, well, right out the gate, all these wires are pre-cut, and depending on how you orient it, which side you put it on, facing left, facing right, whatever, a little arrow here if you go by that, well, you may have to ignore the painted tips, if yours even came with painted tips, because I've seen others for sale that didn't, because the white is real short, so it has to come in this single opening here and drop down to white, and the blue, which is your e-brake, is the longest. Now if you need to go in and out of the two right here, you know, your white's going to be right here, so FYI, you may have to ignore the colored all threads. So I'm going to try and rewire it the way it originally came. It's going to come in this way from the front. However, where it's mounted, I may have to come in through this one. So we'll see. Alright, here's what I got. So I needed to get the insulation inside here before I lock it down. I didn't want the wire sticking out. I don't think I can move it now. These are just snug. I haven't tightened them down, but that's how it had to go. I really didn't want to feed in this way. I wanted to put it on the right side. Well, it's actually going to be like this. And I'm going to have to feed in the trailer like this and come down. I need white. And these three, yellow, red, and green. But of course they're going to be swapped. Alright, continuing on. Oops, typical mechanical engineer. Let me install this, which means I have to take everything apart and put it back together. Alright, there we go. Now let's do this again. Alright, it's actually easier to feed the wires through first and then put it in the box. Oh joy, guess what I learned? Big hole, little hole. 7-wire, 4-wire. Oh well. Details, details, details. Alright, well you didn't see me fight this thing on, and I could only get it to the edge here, and I was trying to feed it through, and I don't know what made me stop and look and see that there were different ones. Okay then, so I can go this way and put my white, green, brown, yellow through the top, maybe even through the bottom, but I'd put it through the top. I could even come around and go in through the back. Or I can ignore these pin colors, take them all out so that I have 2 entrances here, and have the main line coming in and then having the trailer line coming in. Both have them, whoops. Good camera work, David. So I could have them both coming in the front here. So that actually looks better, and then I can just stuff this back stuff these guys back in where they came from instead of cutting them all off and making them short and cutting them to the exact size. I'd actually like to leave extra wire on there. Again, I'm not electrical, I'm mechanical. That's why I want extra wire on there. All right, so let me take it apart a third time. All right, now on to phase 2, wiring the trailer to the box. All right, I remembered to put it on the wires this time so that when I seal up the box, it'll be in place. Okay, so I did put a bunch of electrical tape around the 4 wires. I needed to build it up so it would fit into the box outlet, kind of snug, sort of help prevent water from getting in there. I mean, technically it still can get in there, but oh well. A little bit tighter, it's not a big gap in there. All right, there I have it, all ready to go, and it's just as easy to bring the car in and test it. But guess what? I am going to give myself a vote of confidence. Mount it all up, take the trailer out to the vehicle, hook it up, and then see if everything works. I know, I said I was going to put it on the other side, but when I started rearranging all the wires and everything and making everything all neat and pretty, because I'm mechanical, not electrical, that means all the electrical has to look good, even if it isn't. At least it'll look good. This is what I came up with. So that is that. All right, let's see if I wired it up correctly. All right, for the trailer connection here, to keep the line from flexing, keep it secure, I had to go from what they had on there to an angle, and then I just wire tied it up there. So that's secure on the front end. All right, let's see what my length is here. I think I have plenty. So it should be able to swing around and hook on and have plenty of flex, extra line, no problems. All right, let's hook it up. All right, looks like I have plenty of cord for turning. This is locked in place. So I just don't have the chains hooked up. I think I need to rig something up so that handle's up and out of the way. I don't like it dangling down like that. But anyway, that has nothing to do with the lights, does it? Thank you very much for watching my video. I appreciate it.